All right, y'all. We can praise, esteem, and honor Abba and Shamayim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach this day. The speakers up in John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you. But you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come by Abba's name, you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you to Abba. There's one that accused you, even Moses, in whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my word? All esteem and praise to Abba and Shamayim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Isaiah chapter 11, verse 1. And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. And the Ruach of Yahuah shall rest upon him, the Ruach of wisdom and understanding, the Ruach of counsel and might, the Ruach of knowledge and the fear of Yahuah, and shall make him understanding in the fear of Yahuah. He shall not judge after the sight of the eye of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears, but with righteousness shall he judge the poor and reprove, Shalom Jay, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. And righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins, and faithfulness the girdle of his reins. Come on, Civic, Zechariah 4:1.
And the Malachim that talked with me came again and waked me as a man that is wakened out of his sleep, and said unto me, What see you? And I said, I have looked, and behold, a candlestick all gold, with a bowl upon the top of it, and 7 lamps thereon, and 7 pipes to the 7 lamps which are upon the top thereof, and 2 olive trees by it, one upon the right of the bowl, and the other upon the left thereof. So I answered and spake to the Malachim that talked with me, saying, What are these, my Lord? Then the Malachim that talked with me answered and said unto me, Know you not what these be? And I said, No, my Lord. Then he answered and spake unto me, saying, This is the word of Yahuah unto Zerubbabel, saying, Not by might nor by power, but by my Ruach, saith Yahuah of hosts.
That's it. So we were talking about counsel, and then that counsel, that advice or purpose, of course, was Mashiach dying. We also, you know what I'm saying, the resurrecting of the dead. But we were talking about might. Give them the definition of the Ruach of might.
Might is Kayil.
Strength, efficiency, wealth, so on and so forth. So with that being said, and these were some of the things that we mentioned last night. Go to 1 Kings 17. Well, who's making all that noise? Oh, that's her making noise. What's her problem? First Kings 17:17.
And it came to pass after these things that the son of the woman, the mistress of the house, fell sick, and his sickness was so sore that there was no breath left in him. She said unto Elijah, What have I to do with you, O you man of Elohim?
Peace me.
Are you come unto me to call my sin to remembrance and to slay my son?
Slay my son.
And he said unto her, Give me your son. And he took him out of her bosom and carried him up into a loft where he abode and laid him upon his own bed. And he cried unto Yahuah and said, O Yahuah, my Elohim, have you also brought evil upon the widow with whom I sojourned by slaying her son? And he stretched himself upon the child 3 times and cried unto Yahuah and said, O Yahuah, my Elohim, I pray you, let this child's soul come into him again. And Yahuah heard the voice of Elijah, and the soul of the child came into him again, and he revived. And Elijah took the child and brought him down out of
Hold on, read that, back it up. He did what now?
Yahuah heard the voice of Elijah, and the soul of the child came into him again, and he revived.
Go ahead.
And Elijah took the child and brought him down out of the chamber into the house and delivered him unto his mother.
Shalom, Sister
Elijah said, See, your son live. And the woman said to Elijah, now by
What's
this,
happening,
I know you
Tavon?
are,
Go ahead and hit that link for me on that one more time, man.
I know you are a man of Elohim, and that the word of Yahuah in your mouth is truth.
Go ahead.
That's it.
So, golly. Hold on. So, with that being said, what example of Mashiach raising somebody from the dead would you use to go along with this particular verse? This one here, that's a little different than Lazarus.
Repeat the question.
Because Lazarus had been dead for a couple of days.
Luke 7. But he just touched the beer. The beer.
Mm-hmm.
Luke 7 and 11.
Give me Luke 7 and 7.
What was the question again?
Just we looking at Mike. So and we were talking about him raising people from the dead versus him being raised from the dead the other night. What, that was last night? So now we want to look at, okay, let's look at examples of people who raised people from the dead. Case in point, Elijah. We'll look at Elijah. We'll look at Elisha with the Shumanite woman's son in a moment. But the aspect of seeing the Lord raising people from the dead who are already passed. It's a passage in Job that I'm gonna use to see if you can recall which raising of the dead that I go along with. But come on with Luke 7 and 7.
Wherefore neither thought I myself worthy to come unto you, but say in a word, and my servant shall be healed.
Mm-hmm.
For I am a man set under authority, having under me soldiers. And I say unto one, go, and he go, and to another, come. And he come, and to my servant, do this, and he do it.
Yeah, that's see, this one different. Cause this was
11 was all talking about.
Yeah, no, you gotta keep going.
What you were saying with Joe, it was Joe 3, I think.
Oh no, that's in the 20s. Yeah, that's it. Go ahead.
And when Yahushua heard these things, he marveled
You
at
can
him.
give me the verse you got though. Not you. Go ahead.
And said unto the people that followed him, I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in Yasharal. And they that were sent, returning to the house, found a servant whole that had been sick.
And this is again dealing with the what you call it? The power of might for him to be able to do that. Now, this is what Stanley focusing on, the widow woman in here in verse 11. I again reiterate, the link is at the top in the clubhouse room and in the YouTube chat for the funeral arrangements. I just looked at it. They said they had 4,700, so they buy $300 short of what she said they need to reach. So that's good. So praise Yahuwah, they close to what they need, so they can get that taken care of. So again, if you're so inclined to have the ability, if you hadn't done so, you can contribute, and if not, ain't nothing wrong with that either. Because if you ain't got it, you ain't got it. And there's that. So go ahead.
And it came to pass the day after that he went into a city called Nain, and many of his disciples went with him, and much people.
Shalom, Eric, man.
Now when he came near to the gate of the city, behold, there was a dead man carried out, the only son of his mother, and she was a widow. And much people of the city was with her. And when the Lord saw her, he had compassion on her, and said unto her, weep not. And he came and touched the bier, and they that bare him stood still. And he said, young man, I say unto you, arise.
Shalom, Brother Robert.
And he that was dead sat up and began to speak, and he delivered him to his mother.
And there came
a fear on all,
and they esteemed,
Elohim,
saying
that a great prophet is risen up among us.
The Elohim
have visited his people.
And this rumor
of him went forth throughout all Judea, throughout all the region round about.
What you got in Job, Monte?
What I said, Job 3 and 3 and 3.
Come on, let's look at Job 3 and 3. You pick it up at verse 1. Now that's different because this is him deriding the fact that he wish he wasn't born. And this is based off of
the man child will stick out to you.
Yeah, this is based off of what he experienced. Because this is the chapter right after he done lost everything. So this is him uttering his first words. This is before I think even his friends respond to him. Let's look at Job 2 and 11. So if y'all can get the context of what's going on with that. But Nate, what's happening, man? Now I can interwove since we talking about the Ruach of Yahuah resting upon him, because I can intertwine while we going through this, especially if we space it out for 3 weeks, because really you got 2 extra days with this particular topic, because I started it Saturday night versus the normal 3 weeks that'll come, because I don't like to go 10 parts and higher. I can intersperse the resurrection of the dead in every book, 2 or 3 witnesses out of each one now. So I'll ask my muffin, which 2 books would you like for me to use from Genesis to Malachi to begin this particular process? And she can respond when she sees fit. So give me Job 2 and 11.
Now when Job's 3 friends heard of all this evil that was come upon him, they came everyone from his own place. Eliphaz the Temanite, Bildad the Shuhite, and Zophar the Naamathite. They had made an appointment together to come to mourn with him and to comfort him. When they lifted up their eyes afar off and knew him not, they lifted up their voice and wept. And they rent everyone his mantle and sprinkled dust upon their heads toward Shamayim. So they sat down with him upon the ground 7 days and 7 nights, and none spake a word unto him, for they saw that his grief was very great.
Very well then. Go ahead. Chapter 3, verse 1, Book of Job.
After this, opened Job his mouth and cursed his day. And Job spake and said, let the day perish wherein I was born, and the night in which it was said, there is a man-child conceived.
Pause. Who else said something similar to this? Do y'all know who else said something similar to this? Now read verse 3 again, what he said.
And let the day perish wherein I was born, and the night in which it was said, there is a man-child conceived.
Come on to Jeremiah chapter 20, man. Give me verse. Tell me what verse 12 say. Make it 7. Jeremiah 20 and 7.
O Yahuwah, you have deceived me, and I was deceived. You are stronger than I, and have prevailed.
I am.
In derision daily,
everyone
mock me.
Pause. Well, that's out in the Gospels. That should be easy work.
Matthew 27, when he was on the stake.
Indeed. When they ridiculed and mocked him. Come on, Sylvie, give me Matthew 27. What verse it is, man? Give me 27 and 37. Matthew 27 and 37. We in Jeremiah 20. Got Job 3 on stash. Everything springing from Isaiah chapter 11. I'm still waiting on Muffin to give me 2 books from Genesis and Malachi for the purpose of pulling out 2 to 3 witnesses for the resurrection of the dead. Come on with it.
And set up over his head his accusation written, this is Yahushua, the Malach of the Yahudim.
That's right.
Then were 2 thieves crucified with him, one on the right hand and another on the left.
That's right.
And they that passed by reviled him, wagging their heads.
Oh, they did what?
Reviled him, wagging their heads.
What they said?
You that destroy the temple and build it in 3 days, save yourself. If you be the son of Elohim, come down from the cross.
Now pause. Now that go back to what he referenced in John 2, right? When we're doing the push-ups, right? John 2 and 17. Destroy this tabernacle and I rear it up in 3 days. Okay, so that John 2 and 17, where that come from out the prophets? No, meaning any book that you would like for me to use to do that purpose. We're going to go from every single solitary book from Genesis to Malachi and extract 2 to 3 witnesses of the resurrection of the dead. And you can pick the first 2 books we're going to use.
Is it,
and it's something that we just talked about.
So
that John 2 and 17 come from. Or you can use for John 2 and 17. Shoot, you could use another one if you wish.
Is it Amos or Zechariah?
Yes, Amos chapter 9. Give me verse 10. After that, give me Haggai chapter 2. And give me verse 7. Now, these are 2. This is a witness early. So we got 1 witness knocked out from Amos. We got 1 witness knocked out from Haggai for the resurrection of the dead. Amos 9 and 10. Yahushua's resurrection of the dead, more specifically.
All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us.
What else?
In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof.
He'll raise up the what?
Tabernacle of David.
That is what?
Fallen.
Paul, tell him what fallen is.
In the fall, to fall alive, be cast down, to fail.
Be cast down. Go ahead.
And close up the breaches thereof. And
Tell them what breaches is. I know y'all know what breaches is, but it's okay. Psalms and Hosea.
Parets, breach, a gap, a bursting forth, a broken wall.
Well, what's been broken? Sin and death is the breach. Continue.
And I'll raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of
Tell
old.
him what raise up means.
That's cool.
That's the same words you seen when he said Judah is an old lion. Who gonna rouse him up? Now he say he gonna do what with him?
Raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old.
In the days of old. John 17:1. There go your days of old right here.
These words spake Yahushua, and lifted up his eyes to Shamaim, and said, Abba, the hour is come. Esteem your son, that your son also may esteem you. As you have given him power over all flesh, that he should give eternal life to as many as you have given him. And this is life eternal, that they might know you, the only true Elohim, and Yahushua HaMashiach, whom you have sent. I have esteemed you on the earth. I have finished the work which you gave me to do. And now, O Abba, esteem you me with your own self.
With the esteem that I had with you when?
Before the world was.
Before the what?
The world was.
And there it is. So now, give me Micah 5:1.
Now gather yourself in troops, O daughter of troops. He have laid siege against us. They shall smite the judge of Yasharal with the rod upon the cheek. But you, Bethlehem, Ephratah, though you be little among the thousands of Yehudah, yet out of you shall he come forth unto me, that is to be ruler in Yasharal, whose goings forth have been from the old.
From where?
From of old.
And from?
Everlasting.
And there it is. And there it is. And there it is. Now, with that being established, let's return back to what, Jeremiah 20?
If you want that Haggai.
Oh, yeah, Haggai 2:7. For an example of him resurrecting from the dead from that book. Haggai 2:7. Make it 5. Book of Haggai, chapter 2, verse 5.
According to the word I covenanted with you when you came out of Egypt. So my Ruach remain among you, fear you not.
You say what? That my what?
Ruach remain among you, fear you not.
Listen.
For thus saith Yahuah of hosts, yet once it is a little while, and I will shake Shamahim, and the earth, and the sea, and the dry.
And the dry.
And I will shake all nations, and the desire of all nations shall come, and I will fill this house with esteem.
He'll fill this house with what?
With esteem.
With what?
With esteem.
And what else?
Saith Yahuah of hosts, the silver mine, the gold mine, saith Yahuah of hosts. The esteem of this latter house shall be greater than of the former.
The esteem of this latter house will be greater than the
former.
The esteem of this latter house will be greater than the
former.
Go ahead.
Saith Yahuah of hosts. And in this place will I give shalom, saith Yahuah of hosts.
Now let's take it a step further. 1 Corinthians 15 and 39. He say the esteem of the latter house will be greater than the former. They didn't think that talking about the temple. That's unfortunate. That's him resurrecting from the dead. He went in the son of Adam. He came out the son of Elohim. Or as we read in Romans 1 yesterday. And he was declared to be the son of Elohim with power by the Ruach HaKadosh and the resurrection of the dead. Come on with it.
All flesh, not the same flesh.
All flesh, not the same flesh.
But one kind of flesh of men, another flesh of beasts, another of fishes, another of birds.
That's it.
Also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial.
That's it.
But the esteem of the celestial one, the esteem of the terrestrial another.
That's it.
One esteem of the sun, and another esteem of the moon, and another esteem of the stars.
Come on.
For one star differ from another star in esteem. So also the resurrection of the dead.
So also the what?
Resurrection of the dead.
See how the latter house is greater than the former house? Let's let Paul tell you the rest.
It is sown in corruption, it is raised in incorruption.
Let him tell you the rest.
It is sown in dishonor, it is raised in esteem.
Let him tell you the rest.
It is sown in weakness, it is raised in power.
Let him tell you the rest.
It is sown a natural body, it is raised a spiritual body.
Tell him the rest.
There's a natural body and there's a spiritual body.
And what else?
And so it is written, the first man Adam was made a living soul.
The second,
a quickening ruach.
There it is, my God today. My God today.
I was looking at that Mark 5.
For that King 17.
It's probably the same story from Luke. But let's see. Mark 5 and what? Come on with us. Huh?
And when Yahushua was passed over again by ship unto the other side, much people gathered unto him, and he was near unto the sea. And behold, there come one of the rulers of the synagogue, Jairus by name, and when he saw him, he fell at his feet. And besought him greatly, saying, My little daughter lie at the point of death. I pray you, come and lay your hands on her, that she may be healed, and she shall live. Yahushua went with him, and much people followed him and thronged him. And a certain woman which had an issue of blood 12 years, and had suffered many things of many physicians, and had spent all that she had, and was nothing better, but rather grew worse. When she had heard of Yahushua, came in the
Hold on, pause with that, because that's something that we coming with later. That's enough. That's the one I got on reserve. Come back. We'll come back to that. Because you got to go down. They're finna talk about the women with blood. We're not dealing with that one. We'll come back to that. Hold on. Go back to Jeremiah 20. You're gonna see what we're gonna link with that Mark 5 in just a second, bro. Jeremiah 20 and 8.
For since I spake,
I cried out what?
Violence and spoil.
Because the word of Yahuwah was made unto be a what?
A reproach.
And what?
Derision daily.
That man was disrespected daily. Verse 9, excuse me.
Then I said, I will not make mention of him, nor speak any more in his name. But his word was in my heart as a burning fire shut up in my bones.
And I was weary.
With forbearing, and I could not stay.
For I heard the defaming
of many, fear on every side.
Report.
Say they, and will report it.
And my familiars
watch for my halting,
saying,
peradventure he will be enticed.
And we shall prevail
against him,
and we shall take our
revenge.
This is what the scribes and the Pharisees did to the man, did it not? Very well, then let's continue.
But Yahuwah is with me as a mighty, terrible one.
Therefore,
my persecutor shall stumble.
That's why they fell backwards in John 18. Come on.
And they shall not prevail. They shall be greatly ashamed.
For they shall not
prosper.
Everlasting.
Confusion shall never be forgotten.
But O Yahuwah,
oppose
that try,
the righteous,
that see,
the reins and the heart.
Let me see your vengeance
on them.
For unto you
have I opened my cause.
That's why I say, Abba, into your hands I commend my Ruach. Sing unto who?
Yahuwah.
Praise you who?
Yahuwah.
For he have delivered what?
The soul of the poor from the hand of evil.
But he say, cursed be the day wherein
I was born.
Let not the day where my mother
bear me be Baruch.
Hold on. Cursed be the man who what?
Who brought tidings to my father, saying, a man child is born unto you, making him very glad.
Let that man that be as the cities,
which Yahuwah overthrew,
and repented
not.
Let him hear the cry
in the morning and the shouting at noontime.
Because he slew me not
from the womb,
or that my mother might have been my
grave,
and her womb
to be always great with me.
Wherefore I came forth out of the womb
to see labor and sorrow,
that my days
should be consumed with
now
pain.
When you go back and he say cursed be the day when I was born, you can take it right back to Genesis 3 when he got cursed. And what he got cursed with? Labor and sorrow. You know what I'm talking about? He got cursed with labor and sorrow. So that means Mashiach got to come through and take on labor and sorrow. You know what I'm talking about? Now Job makes the same a statement about let me die in my mother's womb. Go on and get Job 10 and 15.
If I be wicked, woe unto me.
Oh my!
And if I be righteous, yet will I not lift up my head.
That's right.
I am full of confusion, therefore see you my affliction.
That's right.
For it increase. You hunt me as a fierce lion. And again, you show yourself marvelous upon me. You renew your witnesses against me and increase your indignation upon me. Changes and war are
Peace,
against
brother
me.
Omar.
Wherefore then have you brought me forth out of the womb?
Why have you brought me forth out of the womb?
I have given up the Ruach, and no eye has seen me.
Has seen me. I should have been as though
I had not been.
I should have been carried from the womb
to the grave.
Are not my days
few?
Cease
then and let me alone,
that I might take comfort a little.
Before I go, whence I shall not return.
Even to the land
of darkness
and the shadow. Leave that alone. Leave it alone.
Death.
Leave it alone.
A land of darkness, as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death, without any order, and where the light is as
He says the land of darkness itself, the shadow of death, without any what?
Order.
Tell him what order is. Well, the light is what? Darkness. That's the light when you're dead, because it ain't none.
That's a dirt arrangement.
Stop. Stop.
I said no, that's what I said. No, that's what I said.
So with that being said, What was I going to go at? Oh, the slewing me not the curse. So he's cursed with labor and sorrow from the womb. This is what he stated, right? But then he say, "Cursed be the day where I was born." So get me not Malachi. Galatians 3:13.
Hamashiach have redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us. For it is written, "Cursed everyone that hang on a tree."
Now, he been made a curse what? For us. Now, we've talked about this before. We don't have time to do it tonight. That the curses in Deuteronomy, he suffered them. That curse in Genesis 3 and 19, he had to take it on to reverse it. That man told you that toil and sorrow that he would have till the day that he died. And matter of fact, he said, you know what I'm talking about? By the sweat of your brow, you would labor, right? And that man was out there praying, and the sweat of the brow was right on his head. Said it looked like drops of blood. That's how strong that sweat was because of the curse. Or you could look at it as he's in the furnace of affliction and it's getting hot in here. Mm-hmm. Or you could look at it from Deuteronomy 28 and the curse of that fever and that inflammation on him. Either way it go, it don't make no difference. You can make it how you want to make it. You can take it how you want to take it. But don't take it like us. You know who it is. So he take it. Allegedly. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't there. I didn't see it. Let me leave that alone. It's funny, though. Don't do that. No, that's funny, though. Because this is a large man. This is 6'5", 230-pound man. So to go out like that is amazing. I would tell him earlier, I say, boy, that's one of them situations, boy, you be like, boy, I hope a nigga lying on you, boy. You know what I'm saying? You know how sometimes you be like, boy, that nigga ain't lying. Boy, so this is a situation like, boy, I hope these people lying on you, cuz. Because you couldn't win out like this here. Not like this here. You know the thing you can say, Simpy? My God, today. But nevertheless, let's get back to the point. Go back to Job chapter 3. We stop in Job 3 at verse 3.
Let the day perish when I was born, and the night in which it was said, there is a man-child conceived.
Let that day
be darkness.
Let not
Elohim regard it from above.
Neither let the light
shine upon it.
Let darkness.
And the shadow of death stain it.
That's what you get, because you should have been sitting down.
Let a cloud dwell upon it. Let the blackness of the day terrify it.
Read verse 5 again.
Let darkness and the shadow of death stain it. Let a cloud dwell upon it. Let the blackness of the day terrify it.
What happened with that? Where are you going to justify that at in the Gospels? Because it's there. He said the day that he was born, it should be like that. Pretty much, Jeremiah said the same thing. So where does tie into at? Hey, sit your behind down somewhere.
Just where one dark at noon.
Indeed, it did. When the cloud came in at the ninth hour of the day, he said, "Let darkness seize upon it. Let not be joined unto the days of years. Let it not come unto the number of months." Then he said, "Let that night be solitary, that no joyful verse can come therein. Let them curse it that curse the day who are ready to raise up their morning." And guess what they did that day? They cursed that day too. Because they cursed that day by saying, "Let that blood be on our children's children." Then that day was cursed when they put that man on that tree. But he said, "Let the shadow of death stain it, let the blackness of the day terrify it." And that goes back to what we ended in Job 10, when Job 10 says this: "I shall not return even to the land of darkness, the shadow of death. The land of darkness is darkness, the shadow of death. Without any order, the light is as darkness. That which was life became as darkness," or he who knew no sin became sin in order to remove sin. Let's come back to Job chapter 3. We're in verse 9.
Let the stars of the twilight thereof be dark. Let it look for light, but have none. Neither let it see the dawning of the day. Because it shut not up the doors of my mother's womb.
Nor hid
sorrow from my eyes.
Why died I not?
From the womb.
Why did I not give up the ghost?
When I came out of the belly.
See, pause, right? Because remember, man is cursed. Remember, this goes back to Psalms 51. When he say, "I was shapen in iniquity, And it's because you're terrified from the aspects of the punishment of iniquity. You are waiting for death. Continue. Why did the what?
Did the knees prevent me?
Or why breasts?
That I should suck.
For now, this it don't matter. We keep on going. For now,
should I have lain still and been quiet?
I should have slept.
That I had been at rest
with kings
and counselors of the earth,
which built desolate
places for themselves,
or with princes
that had gold,
who filled their houses
with silver,
or has had a hidden
untimely birth.
I had not had been
as infants which never saw light.
Now he's talking about a miscarriage. Go ahead.
There the wicked cease from troubling,
and their weary be at rest.
There the prisoners rest together.
There the prisoners rest where?
Together.
They rest where?
Together.
And they hear not
the voice of the oppressor.
Who's the oppressor?
Death.
Death. Now he's saying everybody, wicked or righteous, they dead. They lying there together. The small
and great are there.
The servant
is free from his master.
Wherefore is light
given to him that is in misery,
and life
unto the bitter in soul.
So pause, which long for death.
But it come not,
and dig for it more
than for his
now
presence.
Listen what he said. Light is given unto him that's in what?
That is in misery.
And life unto the who?
Bitter in soul.
Now where you gonna take that out with the gospels at? And this is the resurrection of the dead also, or the hope of it anyway. Tell them what misery and bitter soul is.
That is misery is a male. That is a laborer, sufferer, a wretched one. Laborer, workman, sufferer. Toiler.
A laborer, a what?
Toiler.
Now just read Genesis 3:19 on the house. You know, make it 17 because that's how I feel. Hey Doris, you can put this in the refrigerator because I ain't finna drink it. I appreciate it.
Sit down.
And unto Adam he said, because you have hearkened unto the voice of your wife, and have eaten of the tree of which I commanded you, saying, you should not eat of it.
That's right.
Curses the ground for your sake.
Curses the what?
The ground for your sake.
And
sorrow shall you eat of it all the days of your life.
And
thorns and thistles shall it bring forth to you.
And
you shall eat the herb of the field.
And
sweat of your face shall you eat bread till you return unto the ground.
For
out of it was you taken.
And
for dust you are, and unto dust shall you return.
Then you just see how this man say that's labor and toil. That's why you in so much misery. Because you got labor and toil. So, and that's why he had so much misery. Now remember, when they came and picked him up, where they picked him up from? Now we talked about, we ain't mentioned that in a while. We probably have, I can't remember. But you know, the curse came in the garden, so the curse had to leave in the garden. Where did they bury him at? In a garden where no man had ever been laid, or in a land or a ground that had never been tilled. So, bitter soul.
Bitter is mar, bitter, bitterness. And the soul is
the flesh. So you know you've been marred. What that is? Isaiah 52:7. You like Mars bars? That nigga look like he like chocolate. I don't know. Your man's might like chocolate bars.
No, he like vanilla.
You say also that's indeed, absolutely. Come on with it.
What you just said?
I don't even remember. Hold on. Oh no! With his burial, they know what he left the sepulcher, so it don't matter. Some of them claim that they know what that sepulcher is, and it's been visited, but that's a whole nother conversation. What the last verse I just read? Isaiah 52:7.
How beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of him that bring good tidings, that publish shalom, that bring good tidings of good, that publish salvation, that say unto Zion, Ya Elohim reign.
Go ahead.
The watchmen shall lift up the voice, with the voice together shall they sing. For they shall see eye to eye, then Yahuwah shall bring again Zion. Break forth into joy, sing together, you waste places of Jerusalem.
Mm-hmm.
For Yahuwah hath comforted his people, he hath redeemed Jerusalem.
Good.
Yahuwah hath made bare his Kadash army, his Kadash arm in the eyes of all the nations, and all the ends of the earth shall see the salvation of our Elohim.
Mm-hmm.
Depart you, go you out from thence. Touch no unclean, go you out of the midst of her. Be you clean that bear the vessels of Yahuwah. For you shall not go out with haste, nor go by flight, for Yahuwah will go before you, and the Elohim Yasharah will be your reward.
Now we're gonna get down to what we want. I think got confused with that. Verse 13.
No, it's spelled roof though. It's spelled reward.
That's how it's spelled.
I thought it's spelled reward is REW.
No,
That's
it's
a different
spelled different in
definition.
Old, and it's also spelled different in Old English.
Oh, okay. Learn something new today.
The same way that offense and offense and
Yeah.
defense is spelled differently in Old English. They don't spell it like that anymore. Some people still do. But go ahead.
Said, behold, my servant shall deal prudently, he shall be exalted and extolled, and be very high.
As many were astonished at you,
His visage was so marred more than any man, and his form more than sons of men.
go ahead and tell them what marred visage is.
Visage is mare, sight, appearance, vision.
Mm-hmm.
And then marred is mishkat, disfigurement of face, corruption.
So what they just told you, read it again.
As many were astonished at you, his visage was so marred more than any man, and his form more than the sons of men.
How was his appearance corrupted? You know, his face wasn't per se corrupted or marred or disfigured. So how was his appearance corrupted?
I remember what it said in Ezekiel 28 when it says they're gonna defile your brightness. So pretty much it's like what he stood for. Like, you feel me? They just thought it was a blasphemy.
Now remember, if the brightness was defiled, that means that he was made common. Get that in Ezekiel.
Talking about physically though.
Yeah, his appearance was physically corrupted.
Like looking out their beard and stuff.
Oh, that passed that.
They stand on the side.
Yeah, the holes in his hand, the holes in his feet, the holes in his side. You know what I'm talking about? Because they don't speak to the holes in his beard. You know what I'm talking about? We can't read. That's why I said corruption, and then they say your face. So we can't read about his face being disfigured. You know what I'm talking about? But we can't read. They slapped the fire out of him, and then they pulled his beard out of his face. You know what I'm talking about? But it doesn't state the disfigurement of his face specifically. I would rate that was probably very painful. You know what I'm talking about? But we can read. Stick your hand and massage and through the hole. That's a disfigurement. Because remember, he said spirit don't have flesh and bone like you see me have, and that corrupt. You see when they walk around got holes in his body, I would throw you anyway. Then of course, it also say he appeared to them in different appearances, and they ain't know what he looked like. And it don't tell us what those appearances was either that he appeared unto them. So we can only imagine. Brother was having a conversation the other day about
I would say, will we have to have another witness for that to prove it to somebody, or just something you wouldn't even waste time?
There's some things that you like it don't say, and you gotta let that be and let that nigga be mad. You know what I'm talking about? But also, some people will you see a definition of a word, and they gonna make that definition fit what they wanted to fit if they trying to combat what you're saying, because that's what some people do. Even though some words can have multiple definitions, because one of them definitions is it say visage, but visage it just said your appearance. So that can be you in totality and not necessarily your face. Did it say for marred, your face being disfigured or corruption? Well, we know he saw corruption in the aspect of dying, not that he saw corruption in the aspect of rigor mortis. You know what I'm talking about? So when we go look at John 20, and he like, hey, in Luke 24, handle me. Stick your hands through here. That's corruption, because this man got a hole in his hand. He got a big old hole in his side. And you can stick your hand in there, and you ain't touching no organs or no blood. Dude, that's amazing. You know what I'm talking about? That is amazing in and of itself. But nevertheless, come back to Job, chapter 3. Verse 22.
which rejoice exceedingly and are glad when they can find the grave.
Why is light given?
To a man whose way is hid, and whom Elohim hath hedged in.
For my sign come,
before I eat,
and my roarings are poured out.
like the waters.
Now, when did the Lord's sign come before he eat? Well, you remember what he said, man, I'm finna get ready to die. Before they sat down to eat, my signs came, and then, of course, his roarings poured out when he prayed for the cup to pass. For the thing which I greatly feared,
has come upon
see
me.
how that rolled with that, and which what I was afraid
Of is come unto me.
I was not in safety,
Neither had I rest.
neither was I quiet.
Yet trouble came.
My God, today. Now, Job 30 is where we're going to link that Mark chapter 5. Job 30, that's Psalms 30. My God, today. Job 30 and 1.
But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, they are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock.
Tell them what disdain means. You hold some disdain?
That's my eyes to reject, despise, refuse.
He said, your fathers I would have refused to set with the dogs of my flock. Well, what's a dog? You know, that's Caleb. I hold you with contempt. You are based. He said, I rejected your fathers to set them with the least of my flock. That's how much I don't fool with you. But what are you look? How you gonna line this up with those that are younger than me had me in derision?
Elder shall serve the younger, so should.
He said those that are younger than me.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the elders to serve the younger to have him in derision.
I'm saying Yahushua is the elder. And the people that killed him was, of course, younger.
How you gonna prove that?
Because he was here before the earth was.
How you gonna prove that? That's very generous.
Proverbs chapter 8.
You won't go there. That ain't the one you want to use. You know what you want to use?
Talk to him.
John 1 and 6, what you want to use.
But I was thinking you wanted somebody to Old Testament. That's why I was rocking with
Oh no, if it's old only, I'm gonna specify.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Go ahead.
So there was a man sent forth from Elohim whose name was John. The same came for a witness to bear witness of the light, that all men through him might believe. He was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light. That was the true light, which light every man that come into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. He came unto his own, and his own received him not. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of Elohim, to them that believe on his name. Which are born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh,
Nor
of the will of man,
but
of Elohim.
now you could also take when John the Baptist say, "He that come after me is before me." But nevertheless, now let's go to Mark 5. Because he said, those that are younger than me had me in derision. And we talking about the counsel, the Ruach of counsel and might, and more so on the might side in the aspect of raising someone from the dead. So pick this up at verse 21, and then we're going to skip. I'll tell you when to drop down. Go ahead.
And when Yahushua was passed over again by ship unto the other side, much people gathered unto him, and he was near unto the sea. And behold, there come one of the rulers of the synagogue, Jairus by name, and when he saw him, he fell at his feet, and besought him greatly, saying, My little daughter lie at the point of death. I pray you, come and lay your hands on her, that she may be healed, and she shall live. Yahushua went with him, and much people followed him and thronged him. And a certain woman, which had an issue of blood, 12 years.
Now stop. Now drop down to verse 35.
While he yet spake, there came from the ruler of the synagogue's house certain which said, Your daughter is dead. Why trouble you the master any further? As soon as Yahushua heard that the word that was spoken, he said unto the ruler of the synagogue, Be not afraid, only believe.
Be not a what?
Be not afraid.
Only what?
Believe.
Only what?
Believe.
Only what?
Believe.
That's what you got to remember sometimes. Go ahead.
And he suffered no man to follow him, save Peter and James and John, the brother of James.
And he came to the house
of the ruler of the synagogue and seed the tumult.
And them that wept
and wailed greatly. When he was come in, he said unto them,
Why make you
this ado and weep?
The damsel is not dead,
but sleep.
And they laughed him to what?
To scorn.
They laughed him to what?
To scorn.
And but when he put them all out,
he take the father and the mother of the damsel and them that were with him, and it entered in where the damsel was lying.
And he took the damsel
By the hand and said unto her,
what he said,
Talitha Kumai, which is being interpreted,
damsel,
I say unto you, arise.
and straightway
The damsel arose and walked, for she was of the age of 12 years. And they were astonished with great astonishment.
And they charged them straightly
that no man should know it.
And they commanded her that what?
Something should be given her to eat.
Now go to Job 12:1 and look at another one when it pertains to that, with them people mocking you.
Hey man, get back.
Hey man, y'all better tighten up on your backstroke. Ain't nobody playing with y'all.
Come here.
Job 12:1, let it go.
And Job answered and said, No doubt, but you are the people, and wisdom shall die with you. But I have understanding as well as you.
I'm not inferior
to you, yea, who know not such things as thee.
I am one as what?
Mocked of his neighbors,
which call upon
Elohim.
And that's what they just did to this man. And
he answered him, the just upright man is laughed to scorn.
He's laughed to scorn. That's exactly what they did. They said, man, he can't do nothing with this girl. She dead. Talking about she sleep. But remember, he said, the Ruach of Yahuah rest upon me. The Ruach of counsel and might. And we didn't read about, of course, with the woman of blood, and that's in a whole nother spot, but that's not what I'm focusing on. You know what I'm talking about? More so because we talk about him raising other people from the dead. You know what I'm saying? And that's the aspect of the Ruach of Yahuah is resting upon him, that Ruach of might. Now, we talk about counsel a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? So, Muffin picked the book of Hosea. Hold on before you go around there. Because we used 2 from the book of Hosea yesterday. And I don't want to repeat. You can read them again, though. Hosea 6:1 and Hosea 13:14.
6:1. Come and let us return unto Yahuwah, for he hath torn and he will heal us. He hath smitten, he will bind us up. After 2 days will he revive us, and the 3rd day he will raise us up. We shall live in his sight.
It's well, I'll do Nehemiah too. She said, can we do Nehemiah instead of Hosea? We here now. Now read Hosea 13 and 14.
I'll ransom them from the power of the grave. I'll redeem them from death. O death, I will be your plagues. O grave, I will be your destruction. Repentance shall be hid from my eyes.
Now, I'm going to give you one from the book of Hosea, chapter 3, verse 1. This is the resurrection of the dead right here. Indeed, but now I can do 3.
I would say I got one from Nehemiah.
Then said Yahuwah unto me, Go yet, love a woman beloved of her friend, yet an adulteress, according to the love of Yahuwah toward the children of Yasharal, who look to other gods and love flagons of wine.
So he did what?
I bought her to me for 15 pieces of silver.
And for what?
Omer of barley, and a half omer of barley.
And I said unto her,
You shall abide for me many days. You shall not play the harlot. You shall not be for another man. So will I also be for you.
Pause. How'd that go to the resurrection of the dead? Yahushua's resurrection specifically. Now we're going to have to put your skill to the test. You look confused. You look flustered. You look bewildered.
Using Hosea 13?
This from Hosea chapter 3, verse 1. He said, I bought her to me for 15 pieces of silver, and you will abide for me for many days, and you will not be a harlot, nor will you be for another man. So I will be for you. Yeah, that's Yahushua's resurrection right there, if you ain't know. Let me see if you can pull that out. Shoot, that's what Cuz should have did, but he said put it back. He said don't pull it out. He said put it back. That's what I like. God damn it. Y'all just don't know. I'm not going to mention that on here because it's not my place to mention that on our platform. But boy, we heard some disturbing stuff all day. That's all I can tell you.
Can you tell that in Zechariah we paid for the staff of beauty and the staff of band?
No. You overthinking that one.
I mean, that's Yasharal.
Yeah, but you overthinking that one. You got to tie this to him resurrecting from the dead. This is dealing with Yahushua resurrected from the dead. So when you take it into that one, you're going past. Well, you ain't even got on the highway where you want to go. But I'm going to make it simple for you. Go to 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 17. Because he said, I bought her to me, right? Matter of fact, I'll do that. Go ahead.
And if you call on the Abba, who without respect of persons, judge according to every man's work, pass the time of your sojourning here in fear.
Come on.
For as much as you know that you were not redeemed with corruptible things, as silver and gold, from your vain conversation, received by tradition from your fathers.
But what?
But with the precious blood of a Mashiach, as of a lamb without blemish and without spot.
Now listen, the Jose telling you that he bought this woman, which is effectively representing a what? A dowry. Now this is telling you that he bought you with what? His blood. So Romans 7:1. Oh, we have to look at it, but you're getting ahead of yourself, son. We're not jumping to the book of Deuteronomy this evening.
Say, know you not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law, how that the law have dominion.
Now, Paul, what type of woman did Jose marry? A harlot. Listen.
Know you not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law, how that the law have dominion over a man as long as he lives.
What else?
For the woman which have a husband is bound by the law to her husband so long as he lives. But if the husband be dead, she is loosed from the law of her husband.
Her husband be what?
Be dead.
She be loosed
from the law of her husband.
But what else?
So then if while her husband lives, she be married to another man, she shall be called an adulteress. But if her husband be dead, she is free from that law. So that she is no adulteress, though she be married to another man.
Though she be married to another man. Go ahead.
Wherefore, my brethren, you also are become dead to the law by the body of a Mashiach, that you should be married to another, even to him who was raised from the dead, that we should bring forth fruit unto Elohim.
That's it. Go ahead.
For when we were in the flesh, the motions of sin, which were by the law, did work in our members to bring forth fruit unto death. But now we are delivered from the law, that being dead wherein we were held, that we should serve in newness of Ruach, and not in the oldness of the letter. Which shall we say then? Is the law sin? Elohim forbid.
That's good. Do you see how that, Shalom, Sister Kelly, you see how that roll with that? Because he's purchasing this woman. Notice that, read Hosea 3:1 of what he said the purpose of him doing this was.
Say, then say Yahuwah unto me, go yet love a woman beloved of her friend, yet an adulteress, according to the love of Yahuwah, to the children of Yasharal, who look to other gods and love flagons of wine.
So they can help read that part with the love again.
Say, according to the love of Yahuwah toward the children of Yasharal.
According to the love of Yahuwah to the sons of Yasharal. Very well. Let me see if this Hosea. You know what? Hosea 2 got what I desire along the same lines of what we're talking about. Hosea 2:14. Joanne, hush your mouth. Therefore,
behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness and speak comfortably unto her.
Now, you know, comfortably is led, but what's allure mean? No? The allure selling drugs, you know about that song? You like that song?
That's pathah, to be spacious, to be open, to be wide, to be simple, to entice, deceive, to persuade.
Oh, no, this ain't about a female captive per se. This is by him buying a whore or espousing himself to a woman who was a whore. Sean mentioned in the Deuteronomy 21 with the captive woman. So that was different because this woman per se is not captive. You know what I'm talking about? This is a woman who he's buying unto himself. And she won't be for another man, but she gonna be for me. You know, you don't pay for a captive woman. You just take her. You know what I'm talking about? You mine now. I killed your husband, and now you shall be my concubine.
I get so confused about why would you buy a harlot?
But remember, the verse 1 lets you know in Hosea chapter 3 why he gonna buy a harlot. Read it for him again.
Then said Yahuwah unto me, go yet love a woman beloved of her friend.
Go yet love a woman beloved of her friend.
Yet an adulteress.
Yet a who?
An adulteress.
Let who?
An adulteress.
Now see, when we go back to Jeremiah 3, he go to talk about how you're not a woman who was a harlot, but a woman who committed adultery and scorned her husband. You know what I'm talking about? And remember, then he say, I am married unto you. Return unto me, O backsliding woman. See, that's what Romans 7 come in at. Because this is an adulteress. Which we know that's what Yasharal was. Do we read what it is? Ezekiel 16? Ezekiel 23. Come on.
Say, according to the love of Yahuwah,
According to the love of Yahuwah.
for the children of Yasharal who look to other gods and
And
love
love.
flagons of
So
wine.
this whore that he marrying is representative of Israel. And he said, I want you to love her like I love them. So then he say, take that woman and pay for her. And when you pay for her, you tell her you ain't gonna be for another man, you're gonna be for me. And I'm gonna be for you.
I guess I'm missing the resurrection.
The part come in when you slide back to your First Peter 1, and he say he bought you with not corruptible things with his blood, and then you swing back to Romans 7, and he's telling you how if you married to another man while your husband live, you're an adulterer. But if your husband be dead, you can be married unto another, and how you remarried your own husband because he died, because that barley that he paid for with is representative of this man's life. And the only way he could take her to his wife is when he rose from the dead. But that one there was a little bit more intricate versus being plain. Because that one we looking at the work. You know what I'm talking about? Because the only way that Yahushua could be remarried to this woman is he had to die and resurrect. And then she could be married. Because now which is really representative. I put it to you this way. When he, the son of Adam, is representative of the covenant on Mount Sinai, which they are subject to.
That's what I was going to say. That means the initial dowry was, I thought we said the initial dowry was what the Egyptians brought.
Well, oh, you talking about, well, that's
Sinai. Like, what's the initial dowry for?
Oh, no. Well, that one there, read Ezekiel 16. It really wasn't no dowry paid to Miriam because the covenant already been made with Abraham, and this is just a fulfilling. But when you looking at the example that's in Hosea, he's paying for a harlot. You don't pay no dowry for no harlot. You know what I'm talking about? But he's using that as an example of pay for her because I'm going to pay for them. Because his entire interaction with this, I forget her name. It's in Hosea chapter 1. She's representative of Israel. So when he say, I bought her to me for a homer of barley and this amount of silver, and now you mine, not for you.
But how that relate to, I mean, if she an adulteress, that means she already married. Right?
And she got kicked out the house.
She got kicked out the house.
I know.
No, but you also got to go back to Hosea 1 because it's referring to the same woman. She was a whore. Hold on, let's go look at Hosea chapter 1, so you can see where he telling her to marry this woman at. Verse 6. Oh, that's not it. That's not it. Hosea 1 and 2.
Beginning of the word of Yahuwah by Hosea, and Yahuwah said to Hosea, go take unto you a wife of whoredoms and children of whoredoms, for the land have committed great whoredom, departing from Yahuwah.
And he went and took who?
Gomer, the daughter of Diblaim, which conceived and bare him a son.
Now tell him who Gomer. Let's see what Gomer. So chapter 3 is representative of this woman here who he married. And then of course you know what Hosea means.
Gomer is complete.
Salvation.
Salvation. You know what I'm talking about? So now salvation is when they married someone who is complete. Now, what she complete in, that's a whole nother thing. And then she has 3 sons. Let's just read all of it for context to lead into 3. Read verse 4.
And Yahuwah said unto him, call his name Jezreel, for yet a little while, and I will avenge the blood of Jezreel upon the house of Jehu, and will cause to cease the kingdom of the house of Yasharal.
And it come to pass,
at that day that I will break the bow of Yasharal in the valley of Jezreel.
She conceived again,
and bare a daughter,
and said unto him,
call her name Leruhamah,
for I will what?
No more have mercy upon the house of Yasharal.
But I'm gonna do what?
Utterly take them away.
But I will have mercy on who?
The house of Yehudah.
But I will have mercy on who?
The house of Yehudah.
And I will save them by who?
Yahuwah their Elohim.
But I will not save them by
bow,
nor by
sword,
nor by battle,
by horses, nor by horsemen.
Now that takes us back to Zechariah 4 and 6, not by might nor by power, but by my Ruach, saith Yahuwah. So he let it be known, so get Yasharal out of here, but Yahuwah gonna be saved by Yahuwah your Elohim, Romans 8 and 9. And actually, that's an instance of a resurrection of the dead.
You are not in the flesh, but in the Ruach. If so be that the Ruach of Elohim dwell in you. Now, if any man have not the Ruach of Hamashiach, he is none of his.
Mm-hmm.
If Hamashiach be in you, the body is dead because of sin, but the Ruach is life because of righteousness.
Mm-hmm.
But if the Ruach of him that raised up Yahushua from the dead dwell in you, he that raised up Hamashiach from the dead shall also quicken your mortal bodies by his Ruach that dwell in you.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, brethren, we are debtors not to the flesh.
That's
to
good.
live.
Hosea 1:8. Now, when she weaned,
The Ruach,
she conceived and bare what?
A son.
And then
Said Elohim, call his name Loami, for you are not my people.
and I will not be.
Your Elohim.
Yet the number of the sons of Yasharal
Shall be as the sand of the sea,
which cannot be measured,
nor numbered.
and it came to pass.
The place where it was said unto them, you are not my people. It shall be said unto them, you are the sons of the living Elohim.
Then the sons of Yehudah
And the children of Yasharal be gathered together,
and appoint themselves what?
one head,
And that would be Yahusha.
and they shall come up out of the land, for great the day of Jezreel.
Now say unto your brethren,
On me and to your sister Ruhama,
plead with your mother.
plead, for she is not my wife.
Neither am I her husband. See,
Let her-
pause. Now remember, when you mentioned in Romans 7, we know Yasharal done committed adultery. You know what I'm talking about? But remember, always remember what that is. 2 Samuel 14, he's devised the means to do what? Bring his banished back to him. You know what I'm talking about? And a high priest can't marry no whore. You know what I'm talking about? Now, Hosea, of course, is not a high priest. You know what I'm talking about? But he's representative of the work that the Lord coming to do, because he say go marry a wife of whoredoms, which means if he's saying get your adulteries from between her breasts, what you about to read, that means she was cheating on her husband. So now you're going to look at it in Hosea 3. He said, I want you to do this because I want that to be a representation of me. Because there's no man on this earth that would voluntarily, who has good sense, let me say that, who would voluntarily marry a whore. You know what I'm talking about? Now, we already know that the United States of America is probably one of the few societies where men will openly and willingly marry women who are not virgins. Because the rest of the world, except for Western Europe, you know what I'm saying, the rest of the world don't operate like that for the most part. You know what I'm talking about? Now, we were talking about this the other day. Most countries want to maintain their culture, and they do not like for their children to become Americanized. Because once your children become Americanized, it is over. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't no going back. There's nobody who come from Arab lands and get Americanized and he gonna go back to the way they lived over there. Ain't nobody gonna come from mainland China and they culture and how they operate, come over here and think he's gonna go back over there and do that. I just sort of seen the video with a Japanese boy won't wave. You know what I'm saying? That ain't even that about them wanting to be black. That's Americanization. Because everybody say, well, why everybody want to come over here so bad? The money and you can do what you want to do. We were really talking about that like, oh, America's the only place where you can worship God openly. Peace, to die, man. But I'm like, you can worship gods anywhere. Then it was like, you can't be a sissy anywhere else in the world like you can in America. Yes, you can. It's punks everywhere. It's only a few countries in the world gonna kill you for being a punk.
I just came across a video about the 21 dudes that were like so-called Christians.
Yeah.
And they wanted to denounce their God. And they killed them. I think it was over there somewhere in Israel somewhere.
Yeah, it's on the. You're gonna have that in the Arab lands.
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, you gonna have that in Arab lands more than anything. You know what I'm talking about? But I would tell you, man, all these nations of people, sexual degenerates. Them Arabs might be some of the biggest degenerates on the face of the earth. You know what I'm talking about? Say Jose's father was a Reubenite, I believe. Reuben was the firstborn. Mm-hmm. Say them you're creating. Yeah, man. Once your children get exposed to American society, it's over with. That's why when you see foreign people, their children be Americanized, but they don't, because they're not gonna let their culture go. The children don't have any regard for the culture of the society where they come from. You know what I'm saying? They ain't had enough time to be rooted in it. They'll do the practices just to appease their parents, but man, they ain't like they. You know what I'm talking about? That just don't mean nothing to them, because America don't have no culture. America's culture is do what feels good and what's fun. Like, what culture does America have? Nothing but debauchery. Get drunk, get high. Pleasure. Feels good. You know, that's the song. You know, Tony has done it again. Look at you like that song, huh? I like the group. So you don't like the song?
It's a nice
Sound like you hating on the song.
one. Oh, no, it's a nice song. I like it.
No, you didn't say that. She didn't say, I love that song. It's a nice song. You skip that song, don't you? Yeah, you skip it. You wanna listen to Hey Lil Walter.
No, that's just not a good song.
Yeah, you like that song, Hey Lil Walter? Something gonna get you Lil Walter? You don't know Tony if you don't know Hey Lil Walter. No, you don't know Tony. That video used to give me nightmares too.
Right, and I definitely would watch it.
No, it was a music video. The music video, the nigga was like dead, and he was haunting niggas. You know what I'm saying? I was like 5, 6 years old. I'll show it to you when we get finished.
Murder was the case. It used to haunt me.
You know what I'm saying? I was a little boy. That's the song. Hey, something's gonna get you, little Walter. Yeah, you don't know Tony. Talking about, I like them, but you don't know Hey Lil Walter. Now, I was good and grown with Crossroads.
That nigga did this. That nigga eye turned white. I couldn't go to sleep after that.
There it is. I said, do they have a music video? They might not have a music video.
This is how Gervonta Davis almost got knocked out.
Cause already breaking down how Davis almost got knocked out. So let's roll. Where we at with it? 2 and 2, Jose. We got to slide to Nehemiah. We got a whole bunch of them in songs. That's light work.
Plead with your mother. Plead, for she is not my wife. Neither am I her husband. Let her therefore put away her whoredoms out of her sight, and her adulteries from between her breasts.
Give me Isaiah 50:1. He said, I read verse 3, lest I strip her naked and set her as the day that she was born and make her as the wilderness and set her like a dry land and slay her with thirst. Now, after you read Isaiah 50:1, go to Ezekiel 16.
Thus saith Yahuwah, where's the bill of your mother's divorce?
Where's the what?
Bill of your mother's divorce.
Now go to Ezekiel 16. Give me verse 1. He said the movie Bones had him shook. Monica looked like Tales from the Hood had you scared. You little nigglets. You seen the little nigga jumping off that picture, going to bite that white man. It's like, I'm scared. I'm scared. You little nigglets. Or maybe when that nigga turned to Satan.
Yeah, that was scary.
That jump was funny. You know what I'm talking about? The nigga said, you're not at a funeral home. You're in hell.
You're in hell.
Boy, that nigga started looking ugly. Them nigga was so scared. Them nigga opened that casket. How I been here? You don't remember what happened to you? You know that one nigga in there was crazy for real.
The nigga that plays Stacey?
Yeah, the nigga that from what's his name? Boys in the Hood. They were like, boy, that nigga crazy for real.
Boys in the Hood?
I mean, I thought
No, Medicine Society. No, he went to prison for real, and I think he was talking about nigga. He was traumatized. He was in some movie, and they wanted him to get raped, and I think he had experience something like that in prison.
that's Stacey. Yeah, that's Stacey.
No, but the other dude, but he ain't really crazy for real. The nigga who got you came. I don't like how you doing my cousin, and he stomped him out. But the dude who ended up going crazy, actually turned into a gangster from Boys in the Hood, was the dude who had the shotgun when they rolled the window down. Cuz ended up getting killed. Cuz was out here in these streets for real. Yeah. Yeah, in the cell. Yeah. He had done went wild in the streets. You know what I'm saying? But his acting career wasn't doing too well. Cause I was looking at something with a dude who was from the TV show The Shield, and he ended up killing his wife. Cause he said he went from making like 6 figures a year to making 17,000. Cause people think cause somebody be on TV shows and movies that they getting paid, but they really don't get paid like that. You know what I'm saying? And you know how people think you on TV, you got money, but them people pretty much got a job just like you do. It's just their money is sporadic. So if they don't keep if they don't keep steady work coming in, they ain't making no money. And really, if they not the main star, they ain't getting paid nothing. When I know people like, well, 50 didn't pay whatever that nigga name is.
Man, that play Ghost.
Yeah, I can't. Hardwick. Like, but nigga, who are you? Yeah, the show guy, you can negotiate that later, but when you're a nobody, you can't come in nobody TV show talking about pay me $250,000 just because the show got popular.
They said that boy was broke. He came to 50 trying to like really need that role.
Yeah, a lot of them be broke like that for real. I would say 95% of actors are broke like that for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, they really be like, man, let me get a role, man. Put me into such and such, man. I just want to. We need to be having regular jobs, man. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we're not in LA, so we don't know. Because if we was in LA, you'd be like, "When you on such and such?" Yeah.
I say a lot of them are Uber, like Lyft and Uber drivers.
They don't make no money like that, man. Not till they like hit, and most of them never hit. And you know why they don't never hit? Because if a nigga got Grammys, he had a penis in his butt. A lot of them don't really get that big, man. They just be. Yeah, man, they making a regular living. Then to live in California, costs a grip. But you know, it don't be what you think it is, man. Everybody always judge people from the top end of a profession. Same way you look at basketball and be like, oh, all them niggas make money because Jason Tatum makes $70 million a year. But them niggas at the end of the bench ain't making that. You know what I'm talking about? Now they got a nice little, you know what I'm saying? I just said it because they were talking about, you know, Antonio O'Brien. He done filed for, Antonio O'Brien, I should say, filed for bankruptcy. How you blow through $100 million? Well, take that $100 million, cut him in half. You know what I'm saying? Let's start with that. Then, you know, depending on what state you in, and then it's just the aspect of that jump be a lot when you go from making that kind of bread to nothing per se, comparison to what you made. That's why they were trying to mock Cam Newton. Talking about he went broke. He didn't say he went broke. Then say it's an adjustment when you used to making a certain amount of money and now you're not making that no more. You know what I'm saying? Which is something that very small amount of people on this planet would ever even understand what he talking about. Ain't none of us went to making $25 million a year to making $300,000. $300,000 ain't bad, but making $300,000 for $25 million is like you used to make $40 an hour. Now you make 15. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a major, like, you have to downgrade your life, which is why you probably should have never upgraded it in the first place. Now, Antonio Brown was wise. He bought his house with cash, so he owned that house. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of them dudes don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Niggas who don't do it, they be low-key trying to clown them up. Like,
Yeah.
Eagles quarterback.
Yeah, he was working at a grocery store, Sister Jean.
That nigga got bought like a little.
Oh yeah, Jalen Hurts. He got a regular house.
He got like a three-bedroom house in Texas.
They like, why he ain't got a bigger house? Because it's just him.
They said the same thing about Kendrick when he first.
You know, but you know why? Because most people would think if I'm making so much money, I'm gonna buy this big old house. And it really just depends on the individual, because clearly Jalen Hurts don't care about that type of stuff. Now, clearly he care about having a nice chain, because that nigga got a chain with some of the most clearest diamonds you'd ever want to see. So clearly he care about that, because he bought himself that. You know what I'm saying? But then he probably looked at, I'm gonna buy me a $300,000-$400,000 house with cash. I'm good with that because it's just me. Why would I need a 10 to 15,000 square foot mansion and it's just me? And I ain't never there but 6 months out the year. Why would I do that?
Right, not even that, because you train.
You know what I'm saying? So why would I do that? That's absolutely stupid. You know what I'm talking about? This is why this will go back with team before. This is why when they talk about, you know, well, black men don't buy houses like that, because most men are not going to buy a home until they have a family. If I ain't got a family, why am I going to buy a 3-4 bedroom house and it's just me? I can stay in this one bedroom apartment or this condo or whatever I got going on, and I'll be good. Because he doesn't see the point of, why would I take on debt and it's just me? You know what I'm talking about? But, you know, some people like, bump that junk, I'm paying for this junk. And that's your business. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, Jalen Hurts don't care about that. You just have some of them don't care about buying expensive cars. That's AJ Brown. Yeah. He ain't got no expensive. Some dudes don't. And that just comes into you were like that before you got there. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't let the money change.
Well, I mean, money ain't gonna change you. It's just gonna accentuate more than what you are. So if you ain't care about that type of stuff before you got some money,
I'm just saying, niggas don't be living lavish. They get the bread, they want to live lavish. They ain't never do that. That's what I'm saying.
that means shoot, it ain't changing. I can do it now.
Hey,
But a nigga like Jalen or AJ, I don't care about that. So I got the bread just because I got the bread. I ain't finna go buy because I don't care. But a nigga who like, shoot, I've been dreaming about this Rolls Royce. He gonna buy that Rolls Royce before he buy a house. Some of them niggas be buying Rolls Royces, Rolexes, and all that before they even buy a house.
Tear the ACL.
Career over with. You know, and then also at the same token, because my dog just posted about this the other day, and he didn't even make it to the NFL. Now he did make it D1. The man said he was depressed for years when his career ended. You gotta realize, man, that's all them boys been doing their entire childhood is to get to this point. And you gotta realize something, man. Most people, you can still keep doing what you love till I don't want to do this no more at 50, 60. Man, they stop doing what they love and they 30. You know what I'm saying?
You know a nigga like that. This nigga life been a roller coaster.
And for those who ain't never been involved with it, you don't understand it because you think, what's up with this nigga? But you don't, this has been his life. It's all he know. This all he been involved with. He don't know nothing else. He ain't saw nothing else. I just seen the story. They were talking about somebody quoting Cardell Jones, who used to play at Ohio State. And they was like, go to class for what? We're not here for class. We're here to play football, and y'all know that. Y'all trying to cap like we here for an education. That's not what we here for. But none of us understand that. You know why? Because wasn't none of us good enough to make it to play that long to find out. You know what I'm saying? So them sports players, yeah, they got to pay state tax in each state they playing, all that. You know what I'm saying? That junk hit different. Like I say, man, you make $1 million, boy, they taking half. You know what I'm saying? They taking half. Unless you a 1099. Now, see, this is how the actors get in trouble because when they get paid, they don't take no taxes out their bread. Same with musicians. They don't take no tax. Them niggas independent contractors. They ain't no W-2. That's how the niggas end up getting caught up with having because they don't be knowing, hey, boy, you got to pay taxes, boy. If you made that million, you should have put $250,000 to the side. They done balled out. Now here come Mr. Charlie. I need my money on time. It is though.
Pay $3 million in taxes.
Absolutely.
He said I made 4. He claimed he made 4 million.
Now it is understandable because it's really just because we average everyday people. We just talking about people in general. You don't know what their life look like, so you just be like, how can a nigga blow through $100 million? But he don't have he never saw $100 million. He grossed $100 million, but he ain't never seen $100 million. That boy saw about 50, not even 50. He saw about out of that 100. That boy probably got 35% of that. Now, ain't that a funky dog hole? Because you think if you made $100 million, you should have got 75% of that, not 35. Because they always talk about the rich don't pay no taxes, but that's not true. Them top end white folks do. They don't pay none, but you know why they don't pay none? Because you know why they don't pay none. Because them boys siphon that stuff through their business and they hide that stuff in assets and they pay themselves a salary. They know how to duck that money out. Yeah, they know how to duck that money out. That's what most of them do. They put that junk in assets. You won't get me. But come on, Sid. Where we at with?
Ezekiel 16 and
1. Come on with it.
Again, the word of Yahuah came unto me, saying, Son of man, cause Jerusalem to know her abominations, and say, Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim unto Jerusalem, your birth and your nativity of the land of Canaan, your father an Amorite, your mother a Hittite.
That's it.
And as for your nativity, and the day you was born, your navel was not cut.
Ain't nobody cared nothing about
Neither
it.
was you washed in water to supple, you was not salted at all, nor swaddled at all.
None I pitied you
To do any of these unto
to
you,
have compassion upon you.
but you was cast out in the open field to the loathing of your person in the day that you was born.
And when I passed by you,
I saw you polluted in your own blood.
I said unto you when you was in your blood.
Live.
So I saw you when you was in your blood.
Said live.
And I saw it unto you when you was in your blood.
Live.
Now he talking about Yasharal, but guess who else he talking about? guess you know that's the resurrection of the dead hiding right there in your face. He wasn't in his blood. And he said what? The Ruach that raised Mashiach from the dead to do what for you? My God, today. Go ahead.
Could I have caused you to multiply as the bud of the field? You have increased and waxen great. You are come to excellent ornaments. Your breasts are fashioned, and your hair is grown, whereas you was naked and bare.
Now, when I passed by you,
I looked upon you, behold, your time was the time of love.
And I spread my skirt over you.
And I covered your nakedness. Yea, I swear unto you, and entered into a covenant with you, saith Yahuah Elohim, and you became mine.
You can look at that as that when he died. This is the blood of the New Testament, which is said for many for the remission of sins, because I covered your nakedness. What is it? What is your nakedness? I covered your sin. Spread my skirt over you. Then he said he washed you with what?
With water.
I washed you with what?
With water.
Yea, I thoroughly washed away your what?
Blood from you.
That sounds like the baptism, don't it?
And I anointed you with oil.
Oh, that sounds like receiving the Ruach HaKodesh, don't it? That sounds like the resurrection of the dead again. Go ahead. And I clothed you with what?
Embroidered work.
Shod with badger skin.
And I girded you about with fine linen.
What is the righteousness of the saints?
And I covered you with silk.
That's good, because now you're finna go in how you a bald-headed hoe. You know what I'm talking about? We were talking about that earlier, boy. You know, one of them chapters in Ezekiel, boy, he went and talking about them boy around there playing with donkey penis. You know what I'm talking about? Not actual donkey, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, y'all was on some freaky 69 God. That's what y'all was doing when wasn't nobody looking. And they really brought that up this morning when they were talking about cuz. You know what I'm talking about? And yeah. For those of y'all who mentioned, man, there was a dude who leads a congregation, and he got exposed for allegedly, and again I say allegedly, but two people who know him personally reached out to him, and he did not deny these accusations. According to them, he just said, "I repented." But this man was making a Tinder profile and putting his wife on it to find white men so he could watch her be ravaged in the throes of love and passion by a Caucasian man and be called nigger. Not nigger, but nigger, while this was being done. And then on top of this, allegedly, this man bought a plastic penis pack from Adam and Eve so that his wife could hit him with non-numbing lube. I'm not making any of this up. You know what I'm talking about? I put the video in the chat where you can see it in Bangy, so you can watch it for yourself and determine for yourself. I know you don't know the dude who they talking about. I know most of y'all don't know the dude who talking about, but he well known. When I heard that part with the non-numbing lube, I was like, whoa. Number one, I didn't even know such thing existed. You know what I'm talking about? What? I didn't know what to be shocked, appalled, or dismayed. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh.
This is the thing, though. He wanted his in a text message, and I'll say allegedly because these text messages ain't been verified to be real, but I don't think they fake. Allegedly, and I quote, he said, "Well, you're going to hit me with something bigger than what I hit you with." What's in the video? I'm trying to tell you, it's there. That's a level of freak I hope to never achieve. You know what I'm talking about? Now, don't get me wrong, right? The reality of life is it's some kinky people out here. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, it is, but I'm going to be honest with you, though. We joke about it, but obviously, pegging is a lot more common than we want to give it credit for. Because clearly, there's a lot of people doing it. You know what I'm talking about? Now, of course, this ain't something that somebody going to come out and scream to the whole world. You know what I'm saying? Because he got a stigma with it. But Lord, have mercy.
The Lord knows.
Yeah, that's who I'm referring to. I'm just not calling them by name because don't nobody on here know who that is. Hey, Nola. You know what I'm saying? To even mention that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's some weirdo. It's some people into some weird stuff out here, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, what make his situation bad is you a preacher of the word, and you on that. Like, how can you stand next to a dude to preach against sodomy and you know he's been sodomized? How I'm gonna take you seriously? Now, me personally, word or not, we could never be friends after that. You did what? Yeah, I'm good on you, cuz. Gonna lose my number. You know what I'm talking about?
I repent.
And that's fine, brother. That's fine. But I don't. One thing about it, man. What's that song saying? I don't want nobody
The Lord said, forgive
to
me
get the
70
wrong
times.
idea about me.
The Lord said, forgive me 70 times.
Hey, look, you didn't sin against me, brother. You sinned against yourself. Nevertheless, I don't want nobody to think that I'm on that type of time for hanging with you. Nah, man, I'm good on you, bro. No disrespect, no malice, no nothing. I can't be friends with nobody who openly known for doing that because I don't want nobody to come up. So, oh, you into that too? See, now we got to fight.
You stamped it?
It ain't about no stabbing. I don't want you to think I'm on that.
In the prison too.
They put their hands on you.
Mm-hmm.
Your cellmate a pedophile.
And you ain't tighten him up. Oh, so you stamping that? Nah, cuz no sir. Come on, man. Back to what? Hosea 2 and what? I say it's no disrespect. What verse you started in Hosea 2?
Oh, 4.
Hosea 2 and 4. Yeah, ain't no disrespect.
And say, and I'll not have mercy upon her children, for they be the children of whoredom.
Whoredoms.
For their mother have played the harlot, she that conceived them have done shame.
He said, I will go after my lovers,
That give me my bread and my water,
my wool and my flax.
my oil and my drink.
Therefore, behold, I will hedge up your way
With thorns,
and make a wall.
that she shall not find her
And
path.
she shall follow after her lovers, but she shall not.
Overtake them,
But she shall seek them.
but shall not find
Then
them.
she shall say, I will go return unto my,
First husband,
for it was better with me.
then now.
You know what he just described that you see every day? A woman who chasing after a nigga who don't give a good goddamn about you. You know what I'm talking about? And he's showing you from his actions that he don't give a good goddamn about you. And now you want to go back to your first husband. Let me go back to the Lord now, is what he's saying. But that's what Israel did. You went after the Philistines. You went after the Canaanites. You went after these people, and they bust you upside your head. Remember, he said they give gifts to all whores. But you give your gifts to all your lovers and get what, Civic? Nothing in return. He said, oh, ho, you are contrary. That's how I know you were the realest. He called you a dumb hoe. You know how real your God got to be to look you in your face and say, boy, you's a silly hoe. When that first time I read that, I said, yeah, I got to fool with him. That's real activity. I can't call him a real nigga, but in the street, that's real nigga activity. You know what I'm talking about? You can look your sister, your auntie, whoever in your family, and say, yeah, boy, you's a silly hoe. Like what you, and not only just say that to you, but run down your behavior so you know clearly when I say you a silly hoe, you can't even be mad at me. Because I just showed you how you silly. You giving all this stuff to all these dudes, and these dudes getting your butt to kiss, and now you want to come to me and say, oh, it's better for me now. What you take me for? You need to stay over there with them niggas with them donkey penises. That's what he was telling them in Ezekiel. Well, I'm not making that up. That's in Ezekiel. You need to stay over there with them. That's what he was telling you in Ezekiel 16, Ezekiel 23. When I tell you that like this man ain't no simp and no sucker and all this stuff, that man showing you that in their life, man, I ain't on that. Because he said when you was in your blood and ain't nobody had no compassion on you, and I said when you was in your blood, live, and I covered your nakedness and did all this here for you, and this what you do, man, you got to find somebody else to disrespect like that. That man don't play them type of games, man. That's wild, bro. You know how disrespectful that is, man? Ain't nobody give a damn about you. Ain't nobody care about you. Ain't nobody love you. Wasn't nobody concerned with you. I come and love you, and you take everything I give you and give it to a lesser nigga. Then when he use and abuse you, you want to come holler at me. It's better for me now. Let me go back to my first husband. No, you funky dog slut, you. And that's Israel. But Israel don't like to talk about that because it don't feel good. You know what I'm saying? That you was unfaithful to your God. See, this is a point I told them this afternoon about what I was mentioning in all seriousness. Like everybody talking about it's a bad day in Israel. I don't give a damn about none of that. This has given the room for the enemies of Yahuwah to blaspheme. And people can say it whatever you want to say. It don't matter. Those who are enemies of Yahuwah can take what this man has done and blaspheme. It's another well-known Christian apologist dude. He got caught fooling with trannies. Lost his wife and everything. You can't talk to me about no word, bro, and you online trying to get lady boys. You know what I'm talking about? That's a man. How you gonna talk the Bible about me? Man, I can't listen to you, bro. You like penis. How you gonna talk to me? Man, y'all don't understand how serious that is to me, man. You can't talk to me about no word, bro, and you got caught with a dude, bro. Oh, you into this. You can't talk to me about no word, bro, and you not faithful to your wife, cuz. You know what I'm saying? You got 4, 5 side chicks over here, you knocking all them down, but you can't come tell me about the faithfulness of God. You ain't even faithful to your own God. I'm not finna listen to you. And people be screaming, we gotta have mercy on the people. I ain't gotta have no mercy on you. You ain't did nothing to me. You know who's supposed to have mercy and forgiveness with you? Your old lady. That's who's supposed to do that with you. Remember what he said in Samuel? He said, if a man sin against another man, who can entreat for him? What did he say? Who can entreat for him? This is 1 Samuel 2, about 34 something. Anybody know that?
Yeah, he said you can treat one another, but you sin against the Lord.
Now, he said another. He said, if a man sin against another man, blank will entreat for him.
A man can entreat for him.
I'll go and get it for him. 1 Samuel 2 and 30. Maybe 34. Let me see so you don't waste no time. See, people think if you holding somebody accountable for the misdeeds, that means you being uncompassionate, uncaring. So somebody talking about we need to uplift that brother. That's his problem. He being lifted.
Eli told to his sons, right?
That was his problem.
Verse 25.
That's it. 1 Samuel 2 and 25. Listen what it say.
Say, if one man sin against another, the judge shall judge him. But if a man sin against Yahuwah,
who shall entreat for him? That man sinned against Yahuwah. He ain't sinned against me. Talking about we got to give him forgiveness. What I'm forgiving him for? He ain't did nothing to me. Like this here, right? Let's just case in point, right? If one of y'all had 3, 4 side chicks on your wife, what I'm gonna be like? He like, brother, forgive me. What am I forgiving you for? You didn't sin against me. I'm not in covenant with you. You in covenant with her. You need to get forgiveness from her and God. And we ain't got nothing to do with if God gonna forgive you or not. You know what I'm talking about? And I ain't saying that to be funny, rude, disrespectful, or nothing. I'm just using the point. If somebody sin against you, that's when you need to have mercy and forgiveness. If you sin again, if you worship, if we went in a room, like he said in Ezekiel, he said, man, go look at what the elders of Israel doing, by the way. They got their backs to the temple worshiping the sun. If you get caught worshiping the sun, do I need to forgive you? No, I don't. I don't need to forgive you for nothing. You know why? You ain't did nothing to me. You need to hold God forgive you. Because that ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't look at it in that perspective. And I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about most Israelites who be on the internet when people get caught out there doing something sour. Mainly, you know, the well-known teachers and leaders and all this other type of stuff. We got to have mercy with him. I ain't got to have nothing. I don't know that man. Niggas say you got to have mercy on him. He been stealing the money. What I need to have mercy on him for? What I'm forgiving him for? He better hope God forgive him. But see, this when you come in at that where they made the word be by who? You and not Yahuwah. I don't owe you nothing. What he said if your brother trespassed against you 70 times 7, forgive him, right? He said if he trespassed against who? You or God? You. So if he trespassed against him, what they got to do with you? Nothing. But if he trespassed against, no. I ain't got to forgive him for nothing. How am I going to forgive this nigga because he like for his old lady to bust up his back? What am I forgiving him for? That means if I'm forgiving him, that means he bust up my back without me knowing. That didn't happen. You know what I'm talking about? I'm trying to give you proper perspective. You know what I'm saying? Holding somebody accountable is not being unmerciful. Holding somebody accountable is not lacking compassion or forgiveness because there's nothing for me to forgive you for. They be like, we should pray for that brother. I'm not praying for that man. You know what I'm talking about? You don't even know if God will accept my prayer for this man. Only thing we can say, boy, you better fast and pray and hope this man hear your voice and offer some manner of forgiveness for you, and then this man could forget. I ain't gonna say that, cuz no, I can't say that. That man showed mercy to Ahab and still killed him. You know what I'm saying? So you know what the best bet is to do? Just don't do it. And it's different in his position, cuz boy, you a preacher, cuz you got to give account. Not only for what you preach, but how you living, boy, you got to give account. Well, that's sour, boy. It ain't even the sour about the, come on, man, you been sodomized, cuz. Not only that, boy, you giving your wife out to other men, boy, that's fornication, man. But these is punishable by death, cuz. That's serious right there, man. That's right. There was nothing or nobody to entreat for Adam. The only person who could, because Adam didn't sin against nobody but God. And you have to remember that. Because at this point, we kind of substitute ourselves in Yahuwah's place. And we think because if we forgive him, that means God forgave him. No, that don't mean that, man. Because I ain't got nothing to forgive you for. But this I do know, I don't listen to the nigga teach no word, no way. But I would never listen to you again personally. You know what I'm saying? You can't get caught out there like that. Because you know what that tell me, Civic? You don't work for God, never work for God. He never sent you. And I'm good on that. And that's the harsh reality that people don't want to deal with. Somebody who been sent by God is not going to get caught up in no folly like that. I can tell you that. And ain't there a nigga walking this earth going to convince me no different. Because that man said, whoso will receive whomsoever I send. And you're not going to tell me that the everlasting, almighty Elohim of heaven and earth, Yahuwah of his host is his name, is going to send a nigga who is into that while representing him. Ain't no way. You're not going to convince me of that. You can take the pagan out of the play. That there what you doing with your old lady? Well, you're not going to convince me of that, boy. God ain't sent you. Absolutely not. He ain't sent you. Some people like, hey, you got to speak out against him. I don't know him to speak against him. His works is that you ain't got to speak out against him because God done exposed him. Look at Luke 12:1 say there's nothing covered that shall not be what? Revealed. He said what you say in the just read it for him. Luke 12:1. It is what it is. When he woke up this morning, I know damn well he didn't think he had to deal with that today. But guess what, man? Sometimes you will expose your sins aforetime, and sometimes he'll expose them later. It is what it is. Come on.
In the meantime, when they were gathered together an innumerable multitude of people, insomuch that they trode one upon another, he began to say unto his disciples, first of all, beware you of the leaven of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy. There is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. Therefore, whatsoever you have spoken in darkness shall be heard in the light, and that which you have spoken in the air and closet shall be proclaimed upon the housetops.
That's it, man. That's just is what it is. Like Yahuwah's will be done. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, you said H-N. Absolutely. I thought that said Adam. My bad. So come on back to Hosea chapter 2, verse 8. You know what? We got to wrap this up. Go back to verse 14. Yeah, 2 and 14. Let me look at what we got in Nehemiah, man.
I will read the famous chapter 6 in Nehemiah. Verse 8.
What? You somebody I sent them, you say these things to be done, you feign them out of your own heart.
Nehemiah 6 and 3.
Oh, you said 3. Oh, the great work, how should I come down while I leave it and come down to you? Yeah. Nehemiah chapter 6, but we looking for out the grave. Dang, we ain't even going to the book of Esther today. Ain't that something? We'll come back around now. Go ahead, Sid.
So therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness and speak comfortably unto her. I will give her vineyards from thence and the valley of Achor for a door of hope, and she shall sing there as in the days of her youth, and as in the day when she came up out of the land of Egypt. It shall be at that day, saith Yahuwah, that you shall call me Ishi, and shall call me no more Bali.
Now you can't call him husband until he do what? Resurrect from the dead. Go ahead.
For I will take away the names of Balaam out of her mouth, and they shall no more be remembered by their name.
Remembering that come back to I put my laws in your heart and in your inward parts. Go ahead.
And in that day will I make a covenant for them with the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of Shamaim, and with the creeping things of the ground.
What else?
I will break the bow and the sword and the battle out of the earth, and will make them to lie down safely.
Safe.
And I will betroth you unto me forever.
They go to betrothal, and the betrothal don't come because he said, "Remember, you've been betrothed. Say I espouse you to Hamashiach." That betrothal happens upon his resurrection because she could be married unto another. Go ahead.
I'll betroth you unto me in righteousness and in judgment.
Pause. In righteousness, which is in faith, and in judgment,
and in loving kindness, and in mercies. I will even betroth you unto me in faithfulness. And you shall know Yahuah.
And you shall what?
Know Yahuah.
And they got to know Yahuah upon his resurrection. Let's look at this right here in Nehemiah 2 and 9. This one here, and that's how that lead into Hosea chapter 3. But it's 9:20. We got to stop. Let me take it. 2 and 9.
Then I came to the governors beyond the river and gave them the king's letters. Now the king had sent captains of the armies and horsemen with me. When Sanballat the Horonite and Tobiah the servant, the Ammonite, heard, it grieved them exceedingly.
That there came a man to seek what?
The welfare of the children of Yasharal.
What's welfare there? Is it food stamp? You got some food stamp? That didn't work for you.
That's told.
Seek the good of them. Remember what he said? I didn't come to destroy man's lives, but to what? Save him. And it said it grieved them exceedingly that there was somebody to seek their good. Didn't it grieve the scribes and the Pharisees that he was coming to seek their good? Continue. So I came to Jerusalem and was there for how many days?
3 days.
And I arose in the night.
A few men with me.
Neither told
I any man what my Elohim had put in my heart to do at Jerusalem.
He only told his apostles. Go ahead.
Neither was there any beast with me, save the beast that I rode upon.
And I went up out by night,
by the gate of the valley,
even by the dragon well,
and to the dung port,
viewed the walls of Jerusalem,
which were broken down,
and the gates thereof that were consumed with fire. Him resurrected to do what? To rebuild them gates. That one there we have to tie a few more verses in Nehemiah, make that plain. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I and some few men with me. I was thinking about the men, the saints that rose with them from the grave too.
Absolutely. We got one more. We'll start. Well, that one will work for now because I have to cycle through it. We did Psalm 16 last night. Come on to Psalms 127 and 1. I'll come back with another one on Wednesday because we got to get off of it so y'all can eat.
Except Yahuah build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Except Yahuah keep the city, the watchman wait.
He says it's vain for you to rise up early.
To sit up late.
What else?
To eat the bread of sorrows. So he gives his beloved sleep.
He gives his beloved what?
Sleep.
My God today. My God today. And of course, when we could go back over that, but we got to stop for now. Hallelujah for Yahushua in the word because they got this stuff ready. It's 9:20. I appreciate y'all. Bless y'all the house of Elohim in the name of Yahushua. So again, this is what we'll do. I still got to find some more out of the book of Nehemiah. One more out of Nehemiah. 1 or 2 more out of Nehemiah. You know, amen, yada. Definitely shoot 10 more out of Psalms. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to do, what we're looking at Hosea 11 is when he said the Ruach of Yahuah rest upon him, each attribute of that spirit, we're going to look at, okay, where's the wisdom, where's the understanding, where did Yahushua exhibit that? You know what I'm talking about? And we're going to, peace, brother Rob, man, we're going to integrate the resurrection of the dead. We're going to integrate Genesis 49. We dealt with Judah yesterday, and because we were reading resurrection of the dead out of Judah, that's kind of why we on that trip with it. But some of the other names of the tribe, of the sons, Shalom, Sister Virginia, praise Yahuwah, peace, brother Omar, do the same. So that's the track that we on for the next, y'all willing, 3 weeks. Because effectively, this one will probably have part 10 and 11 because we had Saturday night and the night, which would normally not be there. So y'all willing, when we come back Wednesday, that'll be part 3. So we'll try to, in this instance, we're going to put in try to get in a lot of information in a short period of time. For all those who were able to contribute to that funeral fund, praise be to Yahuwah. We appreciate you. She appreciates you. Yahuwah Baruch, Mika. You know what I'm talking about? And hopefully that helped them get a lot closer to the ability to be able to lay this man to the ground from whence he came. So
Leave it on the table.
again, I bless y'all the house Elohim in the name of Yahushua. Y'all willing, we'll be back on Wednesday and do it again. And until that time. Yes, sir. Shalom, Eric, man.